A couple years ago, I was working a summer baseball camp, and I was sitting next to one of my coaches who was recruiting a kid. And he was on the phone telling the kid, you have all the characteristics that we're looking for. You have the making and the makeup that we're looking for. We want you on our team. He offered the kid a 90% scholarship or 95%, I don't remember exactly. And I believe the kid accepted the offer. Coach ended up finishing up the call and going back to work, and I sat there for a little bit and I thought about it. Then I asked him, Coach, how often does somebody get a scholarship like that size? And he said, almost never. And I said, why? And he said, well, because he's a game changer. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, how many guys do we recruit that help us win games? And I said, well, usually everybody, I would hope. And he said, right. Now, how many guys do we have on the team that help us win games off the field? And he said, and I said, yeah, we've got a few of those. They don't play as much. Obviously, you know who those people are. And then he said, okay, now, how many guys do you know that do both, no matter what? And I said, well, maybe one. And that guy is rare. And so I sat there and I thought to myself, how do you become a game changer? How do you do that? If it's so rare, and it's such a rare and hard thing to do, how do you do that? And this conversation was a couple years ago, and it changed my life. I sat there and I thought about it, and I said, how the fuck do I become a game changer? Here I am.